Hi there. I wanted to do a follow-up video to my damage cap video. The reason for that is because there's actually a lot more ways to increase your damage. And I wanted to go over all of these ways. I wanted to tell you how to get the sigils that you need for it, how to get them, and how you unlock everything. So we're gonna go one by one through all of these. I'm gonna leave timestamps below if you're only interested in certain things, so feel free to use these if you wanna move ahead. And we are gonna start with sigils here. So the very first one, damage cap. Very basic, everyone knows this by now, right? Especially if you come from my other video. It goes up to level 65, increases your damage by up to 250%. Very basic. And then we are getting to the next one, supplementary damage. What the hell is supplementary damage, you might ask? So what supplementary damage is? It's a chance to trigger an additional hit. And that additional hit will do 20% of your damage. That's basically an extra hit. So this is not affected by your damage cap, basically. So let's say your damage cap is 50,000 and your attack does 50,000 and you proc supplementary damage, you will do an additional 10,000 damage, even though it would technically makes your hit go over that, right? So really, really good. This is probably becoming very strong in the late game for people who are already having all the other ways of damage cap. Very big. The chance that you get supplementary damage after Appraiser, that's the only way I've gotten them so far. I've gotten 2 of these. You can see here I have one on Cagliostro as well. The next one, roll of the die. This one here, it's a little spicy, okay? So the description is long. It says your normal attacks have a chance to deal ×1 to ×4 damage, and the ×4 multiplier can ignore the damage cap for an additional 1 million damage. But there is a chance to only do 1 damage. Now, is this good? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Assuming the probability is to do each of these stages, right? That would be 20% because there's 5 different variants. So we have a 20% chance to do one damage, 20% chance to do the ×4 damage, right? And now the problem that I see with this is that ×2 and ×3 multiplier do not mean anything. Because most people already hit the damage cap anyway, I believe. And so these multipliers, you do not benefit from them. So you only benefit from it if you get a ×4 multiplier and can do up to 1 million extra damage. Now, maybe if you're smart, unlike me, I'm really dumb, but I cannot do math. Maybe if you can do math and you can figure out like the statistics behind this, or maybe there are some specific characters that could benefit from this. I do not know. I'm not smart enough, but I wanted to show you the option anyway. This is also, I've gotten it from Supplementary Appraisal. And here, another one. What is empty? Okay, so the empty slot is actually a sigil I had, and I accidentally traded in for knick-knack vouchers, okay? Don't judge me, it was a mistake. It was a low-level sigil, so it kind of slipped under the radar when I was mass vouchering my sigils. Just imagine this empty slot here. There's a sigil, it's called Glass Cannon. What does Glass Cannon do? Glass Cannon increases your damage and your damage cap. And the one that I had, it increased both of them by 50%. Very big, right? Sounds really good. It has one downside. The downside being, if you get hit by anything, you would get hit with the dizzy status. So it would basically stun you every time you would get hit. I do not know if there's any synergy with like the dizzy resistance sigil. Maybe I sadly could not try it because I accidentally nuked the sigil from my sigil list. Yeah, just imagine it being there. And this one I also acquired from Supplementary Appraisal. So these 3 I've acquired from Supplementary Appraisal. I've not gotten them in any other way. I've not gotten them from transmutation. I've not gotten them from drops. I'm not seeing them in any quest list. So maybe you really can only get them through curio loot boxes. Yay, RNG, let's go. Okay, let's go next. we have character-specific sigils, in this case, EOS. It increases her damage cap from Stargaze, that's a triangle attack for the people who don't know, by up to 50%. Not every character has a character-specific sigil that increases their damage cap. As example, I now know Maya does not have one. I know Rakam has one. I believe Siegfried has one. I do not know all the characters though, so you might have to look into that yourself. The main way to acquire these sigils, you can get some of them by trading them in a knickknack shop. I believe it was the Golden Dahlia badges. Let's see here, down here, these. And the most I got were from Transmutation. That is down here, Transmute Sigils. And I've usually gotten them from Transmarvel. I'm just gonna beam out of existence here real quick to show you. There you can see it, Transmarveling. If you don't have Transmarvel yet, I believe you unlock it when you unlock Proud Quests. Basically, you get Transmarvel stacks when you use knickknack vouchers here for transmutations, and eventually the buffets, and you can use a Transmarveling. And as you can see here, it already shows Rakam's thingy in the showroom here. And here is, I believe, Grants, and here is Siegfried's, I think. So a lot of these you can get from here. And the nice thing is, the ones that you get here usually have both effects at once. Really, really good. Because then you don't have to use two sigils to get both of the character-specific sigil buffs. But sadly, it's very RNG, and you might not get what you want. It might take a little bit of grinding. So those were the 5 kinds of sigils that I found so far that increase damage cap in one way or another. I mean, supplementary damage doesn't really increase the damage cap, it just does additional damage, but I would basically say that's probably one of the strongest sigils in the game. And then we move on to weapons. Let's look at Terminus Weapons, because that's a really, really big one. You can see here, Catastrophe. That's, I believe, exclusive to the Terminus weapon. I've not seen it anywhere else. What does it do? Attack plus 50%, damage cap plus 100%. When max HP is at or below 45,000. Really, really strong. Really big effect, right? It's worth noting, this weapon has extremely low HP. Actually, if you do not have munition on it, it has like 99 HP only. That's because it tries to get you into a low HP playstyle with staying below 45,000 HP, right? So this is more meant for people who really want to go full damage, and they're not trying to be tanky supports or maybe dedicated tanks or something like that. Regen is also gotten by the Terminus weapon, so Terminus weapon gives you Catastrophe and Regen level 15. The damage cap that I have on it, that is from Awakening. Now, what is Awakening? Before we move on, you get the Terminus weapon from a certain level 150 boss. I'm not gonna tell you anything in case you want to experience stuff for yourself, but there's gonna be a level 150 boss. There you can drop it. The weapon is random. It took me 4 different drops to actually get the one for my character. I was very lucky. The other ones I got was for Soraka. I got one for Gran, and I forgot the other one. So now we move on to Weapon Awakening. What is Weapon Awakening? We unlock this once we have either an Ascension weapon or a Terminus weapon level 150. And then we can further upgrade them. And that only counts for these weapons, by the way. No other weapon can be upgraded further than level 150. So as you can see here, if I take my Ascension weapon and I were to upgrade it to level 3 Awakening, it would get damage cap 3. Now this damage cap, I believe, goes even higher if you upgraded the weapon further. I'm not that far yet because it's really grindy. So yeah, this damage cap, by the way, it goes into your damage cap sigil. So what I mean by this is these here, right? this. You can see here, my damage cap says trade level 3 plus 56. The 56 is from my sigils, and the 3 is from my weapon. So keep that in mind. You might have to take off some of your damage cap sigils if you start getting some of the other ways to obtain damage cap. And then, lastly for weapons, there's also Wrightstones. Wrightstones, as you can see here on my Ascension weapon, I have a Vitality Wrightstone. It gives a damage cap 3. Wrightstones are just RNG. It's random what effects they give, so I believe every Wrightstone has a chance to get a damage cap on it. So you just get Wrightstones through transmutations and transmarveling, and maybe you get one. That's all I can say for that. Next up, we have Masteries. Everyone knows this here by now, probably. In the offense tree, there are multiple different attack damage cap variations, right? I'm not gonna go too much over them because everyone knows them. Next up, we have in Collection. Once you have unlocked the Terminus Weapon and gotten it all the way up, as you can see here, 10% normal attack damage, 10% skill, 10% skybound, and then 10% for all three. So maxing out this Terminus Weapon gives you 20% in all three of them. Just really great. Everyone can use this. Even if you're a tank and don't plan to use the Terminus Weapon, you can still use this effect here to get 20% extra. Really good. Also basically comes for free because using mastery points on this is really cheap. And lastly, we have Overmastery. If you don't have it yet, Overmastery you unlock it at level 80, 90 and level 100, I believe. There's different levels. The first two have a higher chance to get attack and HP. The level 3 one has equal chance for all the bonuses and a higher chance to get a high level bonus. These are the bonuses we can get. As you can see, there's literally every single cap. There's skill, healing, skybound, normal. So every single cap you can get from this is RNG. If you have extra MSP to spare and you want to try the lottery, you can go for that. The effect, I believe, goes up to 15% max. I have not gotten a single 10-star damage cap up in the Overmasteries, but I believe 15% to be the max. And that is all the ways. So if that helped you, it would mean a lot to me if you could maybe leave a like. And that is it. I wish you all a wonderful day. Bye bye.